Alrighty, so these ones, this is a wire moving through a magnetic field. Okay, and all we have to do is label which end of the wire is positive, okay? So the way to do that is to pretend that you're a positive charge on that wire, right? It's always a positive charge, right? And just do the right-hand rule, okay? Index finger is going to be velocity, middle finger is going to be magnetic field, thumb will be the direction of the force on the positive charge. In this case, it'll point toward the end of the wire that becomes positive, right? So let's do this first one here. The velocity is up the page, magnetic field is into the page. My thumb would point to the left, and so for that guy, the left side is the positive end. Just put a little plus over there, right? All right, let's look at the next one here. Okay, on this guy, the thing is moving to the right. I got to walk around the camera. These are terrible. Okay, index finger is this way. Magnetic field's out of the page, and so my thumb that points to the bottom of the wire, and that's the direction that the charge would go, is toward the bottom, like that. All right, here we go. Okay, now for these guys, understand that this little U-shaped thing doesn't move, but the bar slides across it like that, right? And so there's really two ways to do this one. We can look at this little segment of wire there and go, okay, which way would the charge go on that segment? Well, the charge would go to the right on that segment because its velocity is up the page, magnetic field's out of the page, my thumb is pointing to the right, and so if it goes to the right on that one, it would in general go anti-clockwise. Another way to do this is to look at that as this thing slides up. It is cutting off this window. The area is decreasing. If the area is decreasing, we are losing flux out of the page. And so to replace it, we create flux out of the page. Yeah? Either way works, right? Let's look at this wire. This wire is moving this way. Okay, and so the velocity is this way. The magnetic field is into that page, right? So on that little segment right there, the positive charge would go up that wire, right? So it's going up this wire. If it goes up that wire, it's going to also go anti-clockwise like that. Another way to do this, too, is to take this guy, and if you look, we're actually making that window bigger, okay? If we make that window bigger, we're gaining flux into the page. And so what we do is we oppose it by creating flux out of the page. So we go anti-clockwise like that. All right. Here we go. Okay, let's scroll this way. All right, which end of the wire is positive? Well, it's going up, right? Magnetic field's into the page. The left side would be positive. This guy, I gotta walk around the camera here. I will not kick the camera. All right, index finger's this way, magnetic field's out of the page. Positive charge would move to the top of that wire. Okay. Well, we can do it two ways, right? If you're a positive charge on that little segment of wire that's moving relative to the stationary U-shaped piece, right? Okay. You'd have a force that would force you to the left. Well, if you're going left on that segment, you're in general going anti-clockwise. Or you are losing, as you slide this wire down, this little window gets smaller and smaller. You are losing flux out of the page, right? And so you create flux out of the page. All right, let's look at this guy. If you're a positive charge on this little segment of wire that's moving, because the other part is not moving, okay, then the force on you is down, and so therefore you would go clockwise. If you're going down on that segment, you've got to be going clockwise. Or as this thing slides, it's making that little window, that little area smaller and smaller because this sits still and that moves, right? Okay, so we are losing flux into the page. If we lose flux into the page, we create flux into the page. If we lose it, replace it. All right, ooh. Hey, look at that. It went down one whole row. All right. Okay, and then this guy is a positive charge on that wire is going down. Magnetic field's into the page, and so right-hand rule says that the right side would be positive. Positive charge would move to the right. Now, of course, what really happens is negative charge goes the other way, but let's not worry about reality. Okay, velocity is this way, a positive charge moving that way, magnetic field's out of the page. The top of this would become the positive. All right. Okay, clockwise or anti-clockwise. Positive charge moving down, magnetic field into it. On this segment, the current would be going to the right, therefore it would be going clockwise. or we're losing flux into the page, so we create flux into the page clockwise. Either way. All right, this guy here, we've got a charge moving to the right. Magnetic field's out of the page. Positive charge would go down on that segment, therefore anti-clockwise. Or we are losing flux out of the page, so we create flux out of the page.